This month was fantastic for reading manga for me. Alrighty guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is BoogieSnacks. You can go ahead and call me Boogie, and today we are going to be doing yet another monthly manga reading catch-up video where I let you guys know what manga I have been reading in the particular month that we are in, and of course we're going to be kicking 2021 off with a very good start. I read a bunch of manga. Now, this may not seem like a lot to you, okay? But this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 volumes, 9 if you count the one that I'm reading right now. That's a lot for me. So I was fortunate enough to take a little bit of time off in the beginning of January here. And that's how I actually was able to read this month. Because if you've seen the previous ones, and of course a card should appear in the upper right hand corner for a playlist if you've missed the previous months. But typically, you know, we're in the 3 to 4 area. So this is like doubling my normal reading count. But before we go ahead and jump on into today's video, I want to know what you guys have been reading at home. Okay, so go ahead and drop those titles down below in the comment section. It's honestly one of my favorite parts about making these types of videos is getting to see what you guys have been reading as well. Okay, so without further ado, let's go ahead and jump on into today's video. Okay, name a better duo. Cold day, reading manga, and hot coffee. Don't worry, I'll wait. All right, so I don't want to keep you here too long. Let's go ahead and quickly brush through the series that I have been reading. Now, the first one that we're going to be talking about is 3, technically 4 volumes, because I'm reading the 4th right now, of a series that I fell in love with the anime, and I've recommended to you guys a bunch, but I haven't actually started the manga, and I'm really glad that I did. Grand Blue Dreaming. Oh my God, you guys, listen. Listen, if you have not checked out Grand Blue Dreaming by now, please go do yourself a favor. Go to RIGHTSTUF or go to wherever you're gonna go buy your manga and please start picking up Grand Blue Dreaming. Now, the one downside to this is that you're gonna fall in love with the series and then come to realize that it just went on hiatus because of the mangaka is dealing with some back issues right now. So that's unfortunate, but I do believe that it's not going to be a very long hiatus. They're in college and they're part of a diving sort of club here. And yes, while the premise is diving, it's much more like that. It's all about the interpersonal relationships with the characters, the character development, the comedy and the comedic timing, the facial expressions. Of course, you know, it has, you know, best girls in here and whatnot. It's good. So yeah, Grand Blue Dreaming, please give it a shot. It's so good. And if you need convincing, I can explain it this way and that, but all you really need to do is just watch a few episodes of the anime and you will be convinced. I promise you. Plus it has an amazing OP. All right, so I have 3 volumes here, and when the weather started to get a little cooler here in California, I told myself, you know, I was gonna make the house a little more cozy. I was gonna start cooking a little bit more, you know, any excuse to turn the oven on. You guys know it. And I think we all have series that make us feel cozy. We all have our go-to cozy series. This is one that I get a lot of inspiration from cooking. I mean, it's basically a cookbook with plot in it. And today, pun intended, we're gonna be talking about today's menu for the Amiya family, the 3 volumes that are out right now out of 5. Okay, so there'll be 5 in total. Now, if you aren't hip and happening to today's menu for the Amiya family, there's 3 right here. I really recommend you check out this series. Now, it's a spin-off series from the Fate franchise. So if you haven't checked out the Fate franchise, check that out first. Although that's funny, this was my introductory to the Fate franchise, but that's a long story for another time. It has a beautiful anime, a really cozy, warm, friendly, welcoming anime. So I really recommend you start there before you dive into the manga. It does have full-on recipes within it, which can give you a lot of inspiration, but it's also, you know, the team does a really good job of, you know, the art is beautiful, and, you know, especially in the anime, you guys, it just creates an environment that I very much like, and it's hard to really put my finger on why that is. You know, it could be the art style and how they explain the food, and, you know, the actual atmosphere and the house that, you know, the scenes take place in. It's probably a mix of all of that, but it really does create a warm, welcoming, cozy environment. And I think, you know, as these days are getting a little cooler here, it might be a really good one for you guys to check out. Okay. So this next volume has been by far one of the most requested series that I dive into of all time. There's no competition. This is, easily by far one of the most requested series that I check out. Without further ado, I want to physically announce with you guys right now, I am starting Monster, you guys. This series right now, following the adventures of Dr. Kenzo Tenma. Oh my goodness. This is how far I am. So I'm a quarter, maybe a little less than a quarter of the way through of the first book. And I could immediately tell of how the story is being written, how the character is already developing within just the first few, chapters here. This is going to be a really, really, really good. Now, it takes place in Germany, I believe. I think it's Germany. And we follow a doctor, Dr. Kenzo Tenma, who is extremely talented at what he does. But he's in a political relationship with someone. And the daughter that he's in a political relationship with is the daughter of pretty much the person that owns the hospital and runs the hospital that he works at. And this creates a sticky situation because he's wanting to prioritize human lives in order of like political or financial importance over, who really needs it. And there's a predicament that arises very quickly, which shows Dr. Kenzo Tenma's character where he opts to save a young child over someone politically important. And that's sort of where I've stopped reading. I don't want to go any further than that because I would fall in love with this series. I would immediately be unproductive with work, and it would be very hard to juggle Grand Blue and Monster. So the second that I felt that feeling, that feeling where you're gonna get addicted to a series, you guys know what I'm talking about. I want to know what your guys' thoughts on Monster is. Have you read it? Have you watched it? I've heard the anime is decent as well. What are your overall thoughts on it? What should I expect moving forward? Because I'm going to finish Grand Blue pretty quickly here. And then immediately, this is like it. I'm going to pick this because I cannot wait to properly start this series. So that's where the chips fall on that one, you guys. All right, so I know this wasn't the longest video, but this was an incredibly good month for me to read some manga. So those are my updates for the month. Once again, let me know what you guys have been reading down below, and I think we're gonna go ahead and wrap things up here. All right, you guys, thank you so much for watching today's video. If you'd like to go ahead and support the channel, go ahead and mash that like button down below. It lets me know that you're watching at home and I can continue to make more content just like this. And of course, as always, nothing has changed. If you'd like to stick around for more content, go ahead and mash that subscribe button, and we would love to have you in the community. All right, everyone, I will see you in the next video. Good night.